So, for my pastor, this book, I can honestly give this book off rip. I'm going to tell you from the beginning. This is a 5-star damn book. Why? Because this book is so real, so true. I honestly wish I had read this damn book maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Because maybe I was naive, right? Because, like, when I first got active in church, I was about maybe 17, 18, right? So maybe I just wasn't aware. But this book is so damn, to me, it's not shocking. But it might be eye-opening to some people that have never really been active in, like, a Christian church or these, like, Pentecostal church or, like, whatever churches. And don't get me wrong, I'm not atheist. That's not what I'm trying to sit here and say for this book review, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. And before anybody tries to sit here and start, well, that's not how my church is. I don't care how your church is. Like, we're talking about this church. We're talking about this book. So don't even get on this. I don't even want to hear about y'all. My pastor. I don't care. I really don't care. For my pastor is exactly why I don't go to the church that I was going to anymore. For my pastor, this book is the exact reason why I don't want to hear no preaching. I don't want to hear, like, listen, the main character's name is Rachel, right? The book starts off with Rachel being at church, a bunch of other people being at church. They're having this church meeting with their pastor, right? And their pastor, like, you know how, like, every, like, there's, like, a ministry board for every, like, group at church, right? So you might have, like, the deaconesses, you might have, like the youth ministry, whatever. They're all having this board meeting. So the pastor is sitting here asking everybody, like, oh, like, well, matter of fact, he's announcing that since all the church members pledged $2,000 at the beginning of the year, they were able to meet their quote, and they're going to be able to do what God said he's going to be able to do, and this and that. And, like, everybody's happy, like, great, I'm so glad we met the quote, everybody done pledged, whatever. The problem is, and that they try to bring to the pastor's attention, is like, look, not everybody could afford that $2,000 that you asked for, that they gave you, like, and some of them are homeless now. Some of them can't pay for their car, so their car is getting repossessed. But they did this because this is what their pastor told them to do, and the pastor was telling them, you gotta sit here and you gotta get the $2,000 because that's how you're gonna be blessed, and you gotta reap, and then you will sow, and this and that. And it's not like, some people just weren't able to do it. And he really tries to shame this one couple, right? Because they try to, like, they're telling him, like, they want to get involved in ministry, right? The son is really trying to play me out here. The son keeps trying to come and go, like, boom. So he tries to shame this couple because they tried to only give $500 a piece, right? Because God knows, like, I ain't pledging no $2,000 to no church, okay? I'm not pledging $2,000. I'm not. Why? Because not everybody can afford that. Like, so when they try to bring it to the pastor's attention, like, look, some people are saying they're basically homeless because of the money that he gave. The pastor's like, the pastor and his wife, so the pastor and the first lady are both like, look, they done had all this time to save up for that money, and I don't know what to tell them, and maybe if they had a gave happily, they wouldn't be in the situation they in. Like, no, that's not, I don't believe that, sorry. The problem is Rachel and, like, everybody else dang near at that church are brainwashed. And the problem is Rachel even gets into it with her husband, because whenever the pastor tells her to come do something, Rachel is coming running. The pastor asks her for money, Rachel's giving him without a question because she feels like that's what she's supposed to do and this and that, and she wants to keep up this image that she's perfect, and she drives these fancy cars and all her kids got cars, and she's just, it's to the point where it's ruining her marriage, but she sees no problem with it. No problem with it. Like, her husband's trying to tell her, like, look, we can't be giving like this. And it's to the point where the husband even resigns from his position, right? They almost get a divorce because the wife is so all in for this pastor and whatever this pastor say. And it's one thing to have faith, but it's another thing to, That's a whole nother discussion in itself. That's a whole nother discussion in itself. Like, your pastor is supposed to be important in your life as long as they're guiding you and teaching you correctly. But when you get married, if you become one with someone, I would think that your husband's opinion comes before your pastor. But hey, it was honestly to the point where I really honestly thought this girl was possibly sleeping with her pastor. Because her pastor would call her. She would have plans with her kids. She'd be, I can't go. I got to go do what pastor says. Like, it is even to the point where her kids are disappointed. Her kids are feeling abandoned. Once you start doing whatever it is you're doing and it starts to trickle down to your kids feel like they're not getting enough time with you. They feel like you just off and doing whatever. It's time to reevaluate some things. At least it is to me. Not to Rachel, though. This book might be like, I'm not going to stop me think. Because I don't like to just sit here and put stuff out there. This book is damn sure in the top 5 books that I done read this year so far, right? And I think I had just looked at my list. I think since January 1st, I have read 26 books. This book is darn sure in the top 5 of books that I done read. Because it just was such a head shaker. Like, this book, it was a head shaker, but surprisingly, I wasn't annoyed with it, even though I've been through that whole, like, church pastor nonsense, the whole borderline cult. Like, listen, I would recommend this book to anybody that has an inkling of faith and goes to church faithfully. I recommend this book to people who don't go to church. This book is definitely going to be one of my favorite books. I'll give y'all that. So, y'all check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I know y'all gonna like it. Well, some of y'all gonna like it. Other ones gonna be like, yeah, that's why I don't go to church too. But I'm dropping the book cover right down there. Let me know what you guys think, and I am out.